So, as everyone is aware, episode 8 of the amazing digital circus is out. Like usual, it's packed full of interesting details, easter eggs and secrets that you might have missed on your first viewing. In this video, I'll go through all the ones I noticed and give a couple theories as well. I hope you enjoy. So right off the bat, the episode starts with an animation. The basic plot of it is perhaps showing how Kane and the circus was made, how he took over Abel or gained control of everything. There's various real life images showed on screen and one appears to show Kinger's office. We can tell this by the butterfly and chessboard. He appears to have had a pet dog as well, which is cute. We saw the first group of humans along with Queenie. There's nothing really to point out here, other than we finally see what they look like. Honestly, some of their designs are quite surprising, especially the smaller characters. We also find out that Queenie was the second last of the original humans to abstract, with Kinger being the remaining one before Ragatha showed up. From Ragatha's dialogue, it seems that she entered the CNA office in a group because she calls out to other people, but it looks like none of them put on the headset. It's also a little hard to tell, but it seems that Kinger was still fully lucid, so perhaps he lost that at some point after Ragatha appearing. This is probably my favourite scene in the entire show so far, but Kane realises the cast hate his adventures and he goes crazy. This is the first of many references to the source material the digital circus is based on, being I have no mouth and I must scream. Kane's lines about hating humans, feeling that he's superior and not letting them leave are all direct lines taken from the villain from I Have No Mouth called Am. Kane even says, I am God. Bubbles' lines also link back to the intro at the start. It seems that there were two AIs made, being Kane and Abel. Kane was defective but broke free and took over Abel, and this is why he runs the circus. How Bubble knows this is unclear, but their name Bubble is similar to Abel, so maybe they were the other AI. I'll bring this up later. When Kane explains what the adventure is, it's called the Tomb of. This is a cheeky reference to what happens at the end of the episode. Kane dies. The beginning of the episode also linked to this. The beginning shows Kane's creation and the end shows his death. Kane performs a song and uses a piano. This is a reference that goes on throughout the episode, but it's to the song called A Happy Place by Zamination. I've mentioned this video before, but it accurately predicted everything that happened in this episode, right down to Kane torturing the cast and not letting them leave. The Zamination team ended up working on the digital circus, and after the episode came out on Twitter, they showed how they animated that scene. They used their model of Kane for reference, and in a reply confirmed that yes, their music video did in fact inspire parts of the episode. So we finally have an answer to that long-standing theory, which is really satisfying. During the song, we also see Kinger without his robe for the first time. Kane is briefly animated in the style of the outros, unlike the intro of the pilot, which was neat. The cast visit the cafe area inside the crow's nest. This was the same area where the picture of Ribbit, Kaufmo and Jax was taken. This was actually teased a few years ago in concept art of the circus, so the last remaining area that hadn't been visited is the carnival outside. Pomni is briefly teleported away by Kane. This was a nostalgic reference to the original reveal trailer for the digital circus pilot. In it, we see Kane use Pomni as a target for his throwing knives, so it canonically happened, which is funny. Kinger talked about his history working on the circus and how him and the others helped make Kane. Scratch had a tumour in his head, which is probably how they were able to develop the software to insert your brain scan. He didn't have long left to live, and the circus was a way to extend that. I think by this point, Scratch is a clear reference to the coding language called Scratch. After this, Jax realises the entire circus was real. Everything he did was real, and he's probably regretting all the mistakes he's made. I think this is interesting, because it adds another dynamic onto all of his past scenes. He really did think it was just a silly game. The scenes in the main hub area are obviously a reference to the pilot, like Pomni looking at herself in the mirror. The upgrade in animation quality is staggering. We find out that the fan theory that the characters can conjure things was correct. Each character is tormented based on their fears, obviously another reference to I have no mouth and I must scream. Pomni is attacked by a vicious looking gummy goo. Ragatha's depicts her mom throwing knives at her, and there's other stuffed bodies at the table. So maybe she had siblings or they were killed by her. It's very ominous. Gangle has her art showing her emotions melting before she's hit by a truck. This links back to the previous few episodes. There's something going on with Gangle and being ran over. It definitely seems that she was struck by a vehicle as a human, and it's one of her fears. Zubul is held down by all the various parts, and Jax's shows evil versions of Pomni, Ribbit and Kaufmo laughing at him. So this means that Jax really did, or maybe still does, consider Pomni a friend, but he struggles with getting attached to people. We also see his outer skin get peeled off. This was a reference to old animations from when the pilot was made. When they took Jax's skin off, it looked like that and people would draw fan art of it, so it's ended up canonically in the show. The last part where Kane gets deleted is the craziest because there's so much information presented. It's revealed a lot about the show. So when Kinger's on his computer, it shows various details. Like his password was Queenie123 and the system was made in 1996. There's two folders. one for the AI and one for the brain scans, which are labelled as obsolete. So this adds to the theory that the characters were all digitally scanned in. Bubble even mentioned this earlier in the episode. It's obsolete, maybe because it doesn't work correctly. The humans can't remember key details about their lives, such as their names. The other AI, which was the blue one from the intro, has been tampered with, likely by Kane. Its name is 3 question marks. So before Kane gets deleted, there's a bunch of displayed information. Twitter user Aflac noted down what's said. The first is that the dates Scratch and Ragatha joined the circus are listed. So Scratch joined on October 15th, 1996, while Ragatha joined on the same date, but in the year 2000. The Wacky Watch and Bubble Chef were also created on that date. So during the sequence, Kinger accidentally hits the delete key, which is what causes Kane to get deleted. But if you pause and look at some of the text, there's images of bubbles all over the screen and an anonymous entity which is talking. They swear, saying delete this motherfucker, and then it laughs. So this is clearly not Kinger, and it can't be Kane, he wouldn't want to delete himself. So it leaves 2 options, being either Bubble or that question mark AI that Kane took over. To be honest, Bubble could be this AI, he clearly dislikes Kane and swears constantly, so it makes sense that he'd want to get him deleted. And lastly, Zubul is able to swear finally because of all of Kane's filters being gone. So that's all of the fun and interesting details I noticed while watching. Is there anything I missed? Let me know down below. As always, thanks for watching.